The Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is back in April next year with a flat and fast course, an amazing atmosphere and heaps of fun. Sign up today at ballaratmarathon.com.au before this very popular event sells out.
Child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place?
Welcome to episode number 417 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. There's a lot of podcasts to listen to and we appreciate you giving us your ears. Big episode looking through the agenda at the moment. We've got our Valencia Half Marathon to talk about, Burnie 10 to talk about, a bit of New York Marathon preview, which we'll get to towards the end of the show. Good listener question here from Croaks, Moose on the Loose, and Steve Moneghetti, the king, I'm going to call him. Could be the greatest Australian marathon runner of all time. He's going to be popping in to talk all things Ballarat Marathon. Welcome to my co-host. He's down in Anglesea. And Croaks, last week when we spoke about his 100K PB, did you know he actually set a course record in that race? He did that. I'm pretty sure you were slagging him off, saying it wasn't that quick, 6-minute Ks, but it's course record material.
I never said it wasn't that quick.
I said that. I'm trying to throw you under the bus early.
I'll be fair here. Blake Hose went and beat it by about 50 minutes, I think.
Okay,
so
it's no longer the course record.
No longer. No, Blake come down. He got a good day, mind you, and he had the super trail shoes on by then.
I thought we're done with the Ultra Talk till at least 2026, not 2 weeks in a row.
Brought up some good memories though, some great memories.
Lots of DMs about it. That's how I know this stuff. Like,
boys, Noosa Bolt's on this weekend.
Oh, here we go. Some old stories from Croaks. It took me a while.
How many of them did you win, Croaks? How many of them did you win?
None. How many did you run in? Prestigious event, that one.
Mate,
the premier 5K road race in the country.
Anyone can enter that. I've watched it.
Well, you can. Well, that's it. You can now. Anybody can enter now. Never used to be like that.
No, they've still got a standard, don't they? But it's been lifted. It's like 16 minutes now.
Oh, I reckon it's slower than that. It's probably like 17:30, I reckon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
That was a Moose on the Loose this time last year, wasn't it?
What, Noosa Bolt?
Yeah, I think someone brought up the standards and how they're getting a bit soft. Need a bit more elitism in there. Maybe not. Maybe not. Probably talk about this time next week when we recap the results.
As long as they don't get in the way. Like, as long as they're not getting them past, there shouldn't be too much issue.
Yeah. We got fields for that later in the show, Croaks?
Don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, Leanne Pompeani's running. I know that.
Yeah, but that's just because we were talking to her yesterday. It's not because you've seen a list of names, is it?
No. I'll see if I can dig something up before the end of the show.
Both of you boys looking good. The listeners can't see it, but both wearing exactly the same Say Sky / Puma jumper.
It looks better.
Croaks' video is much more high quality than yours is, so I reckon he looks better. Yeah. And he has a history of modelling, so it's going to be hard to go up against Moose.
Yeah, he's a real pretty boy.
Looks good.
Got those pretty boy vibes.
Let's talk some running, Moose. You had a race. What's been happening?
I did have a race, actually. Yeah, and I ran my first double. So on Monday, I ran 2 times. First one, ran 5:01 pace in the morning. And then in the Arvo, on the way home from work, stopped off. It's a little warm, actually, and ran with the dog along this trail called the Number 2 Trail. Starts from a mountain bike area. It's as flat as it gets, really, up here. Although, Medio pace is off its head because this is a super flat track and it's given me a red dot next to it. So I'm not sure about that one. It's pretty hot. So let the dog go swim in this dam up there. So that was disgusting. Next day, ran in Geelong. So I had a few early meetings, which is what's caused this sort of midday running this was 11:42 I left for this run. I ran down along the waterfront and then did 2 laps of the botanical gardens. There's like an outdoor dirt track around here, and then back along the waterfront. A bit of concrete involved in this run, so not awesome. Not bad once you get on the tan track. You probably
it's a pretty nice run around there, isn't it? That botanical gardens.
It's only 2.2 kilometers though, which isn't quite long enough for a loop. I mean, you get pretty bored of it. I was already second lap. I was already looking for little side quests off the loop. I didn't do it. Tell you what, the toilets there kind of rough. I remember that we used to do sessions here every Saturday morning, and Saturday mornings you were fine. It was like 7 a.m. Not a lot of crew hanging about, but midday during the week, it was a bit of a dicey one. Like cross your fingers when you walk in. Some big fella just standing there in the just in the area of the toilet, like not pissing, not shitting, just standing there. You're like, excuse me, as I walk around to get to the toilet. I love public toilets like that. Next day,
long-time listeners will remember that we've been here before too. Years and years ago, we've been here.
Highlight of the show.
Yeah, we've probably cleaned a few things up since then, and we won't go there again.
We'll bring that back out one day. We have to. It was a classic story. Me and Doltsy.
I have a feeling it was out there in that audio that Nadia put together. Was it?
Oh, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
Don't think so, no.
Maybe not.
Nah.
Maybe not.
Wednesday was just the insane wind day. There was all sorts of warnings and events getting cancelled because of this. I had another early meeting. In the end, I just did everything on the treadie. So I ran 20 minutes. Then I did a 40-minute tempo at heart rate effort. It was just pretty cruisy. I had this show on. I've been really getting into this YouTube stuff now. Like, you boys have got me hooked. And the latest trend thing I go for is I watch the Special Forces entry selection course stuff. So, like, this was an SAS. This is a documentary made on an SAS selection course. And there was this old school military dude from the US who, like, dubs himself over the top. And then he'll watch it with you and then pause bits and then give his comments on it. And then he'll play again. And then until he gets to an interesting point, then he pauses it. Is that a thing? What's that called? Is it like streaming or twitching or something?
Not sure, Moose. I'm too old.
Yeah. I think that is that is it like when gamers play games and they put their like audio over the top and then people watch their like Twitch feed?
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure.
Kicker? Is that a thing? I don't know. Yeah. Showing our age here.
No, that's what Croaks has.
Oh, did it make you miss the Defence Force, Moose?
Not really. It looks so hard. This one especially. They pretty much just break you down to you're a shell of a person and then just see what sort of character you've got at your absolute lowest point. And those that come through with qualities that they think are desirable, they're the ones that get picked. And you can go through this whole course that lasted, I'm going to say it was like 19 days or something, and still not get selected. They're doing like 100K. Oh, it's like maybe a 3 or 4 day hike with their kit on. Like, I think their pack's 30 kilos and they're fully like booted up and everything. And they're going over a mountain range and they have to do like 110K pretty much at once, sleep where they want to sleep. And so it's pretty hard. And there'd be bits of me that did look at it and go, oh, this would be a really good challenge for yourself. But then they do 3 hours of PT, like holding a really heavy pole. There's bits I don't like about it. Anyway,
I've heard some of those tests where like massive like sleep deprivation, where like everyone will go to sleep and then all of a sudden the sergeant or whatever will kick you in the guts and wake you up. But you've had 1 hour and you're doing that for like 3 days straight. The sleep deprivation would kill me.
Yeah.
I'm not good when I'm tired. I get very angry.
Yeah. And these blokes put you through challenges where there's no success. Like they're just designed to fail. So no matter how good you go, that you'll just continue to go until you do something wrong. And it's how you respond to that, which sleep deprived, getting games played on you like that, constant negativity. Yeah, that would mess with me too. I got my cooldown shortened here because power core arrived, because there was a branch come down, smashed onto our cables and landed on my car overnight. So SES showed up as well. And I had to go out and tell them what to do. Well, tell them what I wanted done. So I would have gone longer, but I didn't. Next morning, jogged from home. Just a cruisy one. Got a lot of parrots coming to our house. My daughter loves feeding them. I like parrots too, so I'm not complaining about that. Then jogged the next day an hour. Got moving on this one. I won't say I felt good, but these days, like I set myself up to run a bit harder. It's fairly hilly, 226 meters over an hour, and my heart rate was higher than like normal. It was 143 average, so I'm certainly like going harder than just super cruisy. But I feel good, especially starting later in the day. Like I started this one at 9 o'clock because I had a meeting, and the body's just warmed up a little more. Feels so much different 2 hours later. Next day was race day. So warm-up started 6:15, I'm going to say. 6:15, met at Landy Field. They were just starting to set up for the little athletics. Forget the fella's name, but he was a listener, so he was going to come, which was pretty cool. He knew we were coming, so I went up before and said, hey, we're going to run a 3K. And he's like, I was expecting you. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. The group jogged 20 minutes. Boys, I didn't really get triggered by this at the time, but then I got triggered later thinking about it heaps. So we're running along. Pete Kerr, he's telling me about this arrest story he made where I saw him in the Addy, right, during the week. He was on video because his partner like hammered this bloke in the car park at Bunnings who'd stolen a car from Melbourne, driven the car down. Pete Kerr is telling me the story about how he threw out like the road called
the spikes.
The
spikes, and he's just chucked them out in front of the car, and he's got the car, he's got like the back wheel of it, and then he's chased these guys, and they ended up at Bunnings, and then this guy's trying to rip this grandma out of a car, trying to carjack her, and Pico's mates just come up and just like Superman punched him and knocked him out. And Pete was in the Addy, and I was, and so I saw this, and I forgot to message him, and then he was in the warm up, so I'm talking with him. There's 5 of us in this group. First K we ran 4:40, which that's not too slow. That's also not too fast, right? There's 2 guys out the back. One of them's a 2:33 marathoner from Melbourne, so pretty fit. He'd be one of the fittest there. And I get told to slow down on the warm up. Slow down, mate. Let the group catch back up. I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, thought it was a bit of a joke. And then later on, I'm like, the guy goes, oh, we're an inclusive group here. As if my 4:40K, because I was at the front with Pete, was too fast for a 2:33 marathoner. Can you, like, what sort of world do we live in where you get called out for running too fast for the group?
I'm telling you, Moose, the running world's gone woke.
Mate, that's what I said. I said, what the fuck is this culture?
I get it with a 4:15. 4:15 out of the car would be maybe like a bit too hot. But 4:40 is fine.
The guy's run faster than me the last 2 marathons. If he's not getting dropped, he's specifically stayed back to chat to someone. This created a big debate within my message group after. I felt a bit.
That's not a quick first K.
No, fuck it. It's bullshit from this bloke. Lockie Doke, if you're listening. Bullshit. I won't forget that either. Then we raced. So pretty early, 9:45, out of the, like, handicapped. So first guy went off And then there was a couple of guys off kind of early, and then there was a big gap, and then I went off, and right behind me, 3 seconds later, Will Newton, Pete Kerr, and then 15 seconds behind them, Toby. Now, I haven't run a K at this intensity for a very long time, and 200 meters in, I look down my watch, 36 seconds. I'm like, ooh, that was like, this is me being conservative. My hammies were like already super tight because they just had never done a stride that fast in a long time. After that, I ran a couple of slower. Let me pull it up, actually. I got my splits here. I had it on track mode, so you could kind of see. It was such a foreign feeling. I haven't done a 3K in so long. I had no idea what it was supposed to feel like. So my lap splits went 73, 74, 74. And I've got a feeling this was at the point when Toby went past me. So Toby's put 15 seconds into me over 3 laps, and he's gone past. And I watched him go past, and I'm like, holy shit, what is the reason that I shouldn't be running at least close to that pace? So I jumped on for like 10 meters and then thought, oof, this is way too fast for me. I'm like, I can't handle this. 73. So that was 72, 73 the next lap, where I was far enough away where I didn't know if I'd be able to close. And then all of a sudden I thought, oh, okay, you can run a K now. So 71, 70, 35. And I didn't let Will or Pete catch me. So I was pretty happy about that. Toby caught me. He ran 8:33. I ran 9:05 or 9:06. It's got me here. The heart rate of mine never got up to even close, like near my max. So even like towards the end, like my last 200 meters, the average is 178 beats, and I can get that on a Sunday run, so like uphill. So what I think's happened is, like, mechanically I could not run faster than this. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't get my body going fast enough where my heart rate would increase over this short of a time. I think maybe if you gave me another 5 laps, it would get up there, or if you put me up a hill for this duration, then my heart rate would get right up there. But I'm mechanically limited. I don't train these muscles, this range, this pace. So I don't have that like young person muscle memory, like the ability to go quick, even though you haven't trained those muscles anymore. So it was a bit of an eye opener. 9:06 is probably my slowest 3K ever, like I've ever run. I was actually pretty happy with it. Like, I didn't expect anything more than that. I pulled up pretty sore, like through that afternoon. Actually, we went after the cool down. We went to the running company, the store, and we had a Nike Vomero wear test where we ran about 6K down along the waterfront, gave a few pairs of shoes away. That was pretty fun. Got 50 people for that. So good vibes there. And yeah, the next day I joined Sean, a local fella here. And actually, you might know Sean McCarthy from Bendigo, Brady.
Yeah, I know him. Got a brother called Tom.
Used to ride bikes.
Yeah, he was a pretty good bike rider too, I reckon. They're from Heathcote, actually, like maybe 30 minutes, 25 minutes out of Bendigo.
Yeah, so, Sean's been joining us for some long runs. So
he's keeping up with you?
Yeah, he does.
Is he fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he got beaten by Ali at the Melbourne 10K, but he's getting a lot stronger. So we didn't try to dust him on this one because I was so sore. And Ali, she had a big track session on the Friday, so she was still kind of sore on that. So we ran 30K, 436s, about 450 or 60 meters of climbing. And yeah, the last like half an hour of the run, my hammies and glutes were just so fatigued because of the race. So I had today off, actually. Give myself a spell today just to recover a bit more. And I did a shitload of chainsawing on Saturday Arvo, and it's just so hard on the body. But yeah, that's my week. I think it was like 110 maybe. You could probably tell me.
You don't want to be much quicker. Like, that's a gap pace of 4:24.
No, I don't need to be quicker than that. That was fine.
You need to be any, like, yeah.
Especially with the race the day before, it was actually probably too fast. Yeah.
It's probably too quick, really.
We weren't
you
pushing
go back
it.
6 weeks ago and you're like, hey, you're banging out 30K long runs at 4:20 pace. That's
Yeah.
good.
And
That's what you want to be doing.
heart rate was 138 today. Like last week, it was 147 for 30K. It was a lot cooler this Sunday, and we ran slower. But yeah, it's good signs for me to be able to run 30K with a heart rate in the what I consider the easy zone.
He's fit, Croaks. What shoes did you race in?
Well, I'm not fit. I've got a race result in there that proves that I'm not that fit.
No, it's not. It's not horrendous.
Nah, it's not. It's not in my wheelhouse anymore. It's actually not a good fitness test for someone that can't, run fast,
mechanically get going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were,
I think there's more to be said at the 30K on tired legs than there is the 3K.
Yeah.
But Moosh, you're not that old. You're not that old that you shouldn't be able to run a good 3K.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't train for it.
Do some drills, do some strides.
Yeah,
do some 200s.
I should do that.
Why do you want to run a fast 3K anyway, though?
Well, I don't need to, but it's certainly not if I went and did a big track season and trained for that, it's risky for me. That's how I get hurt. But if I did drills and strides, I don't get hurt, and I get the benefit of the faster work. That's what I should be doing. You're right. Should be doing that.
Even short hills.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What shoes did you wear?
Puma Faster 3.
Oh yeah.
So you got the Say Sky ones now.
Yeah, we've discussed this last week.
I wore the ones that Puma did gift them to me back in the day when they first released.
You've got a pair of the Say Sky ones coming. We've been in touch. It's been sorted out. They'll arrive at your house soon.
Do I wear them casually because they're super pretty and fashionable?
You can't walk around in those, can you? It's a running shoe.
Yeah, well,
isn't it? I've never worn it, but it looks so aggressive.
No, you can't walk in them at all.
Yeah, okay. The other one's pretty cool. You could wear that to work, to the cafe, to the pub.
Oh, the magnifier.
Yeah, I'm not doing any running, so I haven't actually put it on yet and know what the name of it is.
Yeah, we got that in the store the other day. That is a good looking shoe.
The Say Sky version?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It looks good. Croaks, what have you been doing?
Same stuff, really. Just different week. Actually had probably my best run and my worst run in the last 10 weeks, all in this week. So my training kicked off on Tuesday. I did 55 minutes around Mulligan's at 4:28, and this was really enjoyable. I felt like I was moving okay. My leg felt like really good, to the point that I'm like, ooh, I reckon might be on here. There's really no awareness or sensation at all. Went to the gym that afternoon. Then on Wednesday, I rode the bike for 80 minutes. Then Thursday, I went out again and ran a little bit quicker than I did on the Tuesday. And I was good for, 5, 6K. And then my leg started to just have that sort of awareness or sensation. And then it sort of grabbed at, 7K. And then it sort of went away. It was okay. And then it grabbed again at 10. So I actually had to stop and sort of stretch it out and sort of just hobbled home. So I ran 12K, 4:16s. And that feeling when a muscle cramps up and then it's just tender for the next couple of days. So yeah, that was the end of my running week. So that was that was Thursday. And then Friday, rode for 70 minutes. And then, that was Friday. I didn't do anything. Saturday, I rode for 70 minutes. And then yesterday, I rode for 75 minutes. I think Saturday, I was listening to the monthly. And then yesterday, sort of watched the back end of Burnie 10K. So, it's just frustrating. It's sort of just...
Can you get use a different scan? They can look at something different or not?
I don't know. I'm going to see that guy that I mentioned last week, Craig Purdom, on Friday. And so he'll be able to access the scan and he'll have a look at it as well in case they've missed something. And he'll do a heap of tests. Because it's just that was the worst my calf has grabbed probably since probably probably grabbed more than it did actually when I first heard it.
What K mark was it?
So I reckon, what was that be? Probably the first time was maybe like 7K, and then it sort of, or maybe 6K, and then it sort of went away. And then it sort of came back, and I stopped at, where did I stop? 10.5K. And then I sort of got going again and just got home. Like, it wasn't terrible. Like, it wasn't like I couldn't run on it, but it was then very tender for the next couple of days. Like, that rest of that day, just walking around, I could feel it. But then it settled fairly quickly. And like today I ran 30 minutes tonight on the treadmill, and it was good for like probably 25. And then it just started to have some I absolutely nothing for the first 25 minutes, and then some awareness for the last 5. So I pulled the pin there.
This must be doing your head in.
It's 11 weeks tomorrow.
And you said it felt similar to that did when you first, like worse than you actually did.
Yeah, it was like a different sensation, but it was probably more tender straight after that run than it was the first time that I heard it. So hopefully Friday I can I get some answers. Yeah. I'm sort of over it. I don't really care at the moment. Like I enjoy just going out for a run. Like, as much as it sucks that I can't train the way that I want, me just tonight, even just jumping on the treadmill for 30 minutes, like I enjoyed that. I actually feel like my fitness is decent. Like the runs aren't a struggle to get through. My like my hip and my back and everything feels like it's all moving really well. I'm just not able to string together enough training to warrant getting excited about, running training or training for anything.
Maybe you just need that extended rest, like not 2 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. Just forget about it.
Yeah, maybe. And that's when, Craig Purdom will obviously do all those tests. And if he thinks that, maybe there is some sort of strain that wasn't identified in the scan and it's never healed properly, maybe that's what I need to do.
I love telling you about this one. It is about our partner, Saily. Saily is a game changer of staying connected when you travel. It's an eSIM service app that lets you choose from a huge range of affordable data plans in over 190 countries and 8 regions. Think about it, you land in a new city and boom, you've got data. No more scrambling like the old days. Heading overseas for your next marathon or even a holiday, running is a fantastic way to experience the world. But here's a question for you. How often has travel planning been a hassle? Especially staying connected once you land. I know I've been there, desperately searching for Wi-Fi, getting stung by crazy roaming charges, or wasting time hunting down a local SIM card. Enter the world of eSIM, and Saily has you covered. I used this just a couple of months ago in Paris, and it was so simple, so easy. Had me connected the second I hit the ground. You firstly download the app, you have it once, and then it's set. No more swapping SIMs for every country. Plus, the plans are super affordable when it's crucial when you're saving up for those race entry fees and flights. And those of you planning a multi-country trip, like that European marathon tour, Saily offers global and regional plans too. Imagine this, you're in a new city, you're using Saily to load up your Strava heat map, you need to find the best post-race coffee, and more importantly, stay connected to upload your latest Strava file. Saily also helps you avoid scams and even has security features to protect your privacy while you're browsing. It's compatible with both iOS and Android, and their support team is there for you 24/7 if you need them. Here's the deal that we've got with Saily. We've teamed up with them, and Inside Running podcast listeners have an exclusive 15% off discount on their Saily data plans. You just need to use the code INSIDERUNNING, that's all caps, Inside Running, at checkout. To get started, download the Saily app and visit saily.com or check out the link in our bio on our social media platforms. So when you're traveling next, ditch the roaming headaches and give Saily a try. You won't regret it. Good luck with that, Croaks. We do have a guest here, fellas. I'm going to read out this little bio. This is only including some of his races, but he's the winner of the Berlin Marathon, the Tokyo Marathon. He was second at the London Marathon twice, third and fourth at the World Championships Marathon, and fifth and 10th at the Olympic Marathon. Tonight he's here to talk about the Ballarat Marathon. Welcome back to the podcast, Steve Moneghetti.
Hello, guys. Good to be back. It's been too long. Nice to see your smiling faces and look forward to the chat. Yes, have done a few marathons. When you sort of say it like that, it seems like I've been around the world a few times and got to run in some fantastic places. And whilst I won a couple, it's about the experience that you have along the way. And, people often ask me, what was my favourite marathon? And I probably think London was my favourite for some reason. Ran there about 5 times. And although I never won there, I was second a couple of times. And I think just it was my first city marathon back in 89. And marathons weren't quite as popular then. And I remember it was about 3:00 in the morning, I think, in Australia, and people got up and watched on TV because it was live on Channel 10 or something at the time. Bruce McAvaney was working at Channel 10 and he was calling it. So that's how long ago it was. There was no live streaming, no video, you had to wait or watch it in a different time zones. Haven't times changed? My God, you just expect now to turn up to an event or have an event live streamed and get the results instantaneously.
You do, Mona. How's your fitness? How's the shape? What's coming up? What have you been doing running wise?
I had a good patch. I had that calf trouble for a couple of years and I've got back going the last 18 months. I'm back running pretty well. Had a sort of 4 or 5 races and got down to, I think I ran 34:10 at the Lakeside 10K, and which was pretty good for a 63-year-old. And but then I've just been a bit flat and a bit tired since. I don't know if I over-raced or what happened. I think I'm not sure if people know, I've got a couple of little health issues happening, and I'm on this diet that is quite restrictive, and I love chocolate, I love junk food, I love all of those things, but I'm not allowed to have them anymore. And I've lost a bit of weight. I'm down to about 59 kilos, which was racing weight for me at Sydney Olympics. So I'm back sort of the weight I was in the 90s. And I think that's just, I'm not balancing up my energy intake quite with my output because I'm still, running 70, 80K a week. So I'm struggling a bit, to be honest, but I'm not complaining. I've been in pretty good shape, and I'm touch wood, hopefully get back and going okay again. Good. Thanks for the update. Not quite in the shape that you 3 blokes are in, but I'm hanging in there.
You're going better than me, Mona.
Probably cover me and Croaks at the moment, Mono. We're struggling a bit, but that's a different story. Moose is running well, though. He's nearly back in 2019 shape, Mono.
Yeah, well, which is great, and there's always 1 or 2. You can't have 3 of you all going well because that just wouldn't be fair, and it wouldn't work, and it doesn't. In the odds of the running world, that's how it works. We're either, what do I tell people now? If I finish a run and I didn't tear a calf or get an injury, then it was I'm punching the air. It's a good run, and I think we all go through those stages. It's interesting. I've been thinking. I wonder whether the longevity of athletes is going to be tested. I'm not sure if you guys have, I don't want to go over old ground, but I just think, that, God, runners are just training so hard now. I think of these double sessions. I think, Moose and you guys know I've always done those long, slow distance runs. And if you told me on a Sunday morning I had to run 35K in the last 10K, if it was for me at marathon pace, which is bloody 3-minute Ks, I'd be going, no, that's not happening, or I wouldn't be getting out of bed the next. I certainly wouldn't be running that afternoon like everybody knows I did on a Sunday. So, super shoes allowing people to recover better, but because they're recovering better, they're jumping back into training. I ran with Berkey tonight and the boys, and he wants to do a session, and I said no. I used to always wait. 23 days was my rule. So 23 days after a marathon, I'd jump out and do my fartlek and just sort of get going a bit. But now, people are back into running pretty quickly. And I just wonder if we can say that recovery allows you to get back into things quicker, but you're still putting that toll of running through your body. So at some stage, I just worry that the intensity will catch up, and I'm not sure we're going to have the longevity of careers of someone like a Kipchoge or, my own 15-year career. So question for listeners and question that I think about and try to analyse. It's nice, still stay involved in the sport. So for me, I like to process these things and think about these things in the current. If there's people, I don't coach anyone, but I chat to lots of people and trying to give me some context on giving them genuine, honest advice on, okay, you can do this now, but maybe in 5 years' time, you're not going to be able to run at the intensity or as well as what you are now. So, and the improvements are so quick now, people run a marathon and, after 2 or 3, they've ran PBs and then they sort of tend to plateau a bit. And will we see them then maybe, move to something else, or like whoever it was, Jimmy, who ran 61.5, come from cycling to running, swapping over triathlon back to running. So anyway, food for thought.
Mona, what about shorter distance races? So if you raced a 5K on, say, a Sunday, would you be backing up doing a session on the Tuesday?
No, absolutely not. I would wait until, I'd certainly be thinking I would on the Thursday. What I would do, because I wouldn't have done my long run on the Sunday because I've done a 5K, so I'd probably do my long run on the Monday and then just jog Tuesday, Wednesday, and hopefully get up for a session on Thursday.
Yeah,
you're pretty known for doing a workout on Saturday morning and then racing cross country on Saturday arvo.
Well, I read, that's interesting you say that, because you say racing cross country on a Saturday arvo. You know what I did? I'd go home we did the hills out Shire Avenue, Benson's Hill course, and I'd go home, have a bit of brekkie and hang around. Then I think, gee, I've done, 190K, which everybody tells me now, we've got GPS, was probably about 160, but in my diary it was about 190. So I'd go, God, I've got to do 10K the Savo. Shit, no, I can't be really bothered doing that. I'll just go down to the club race, catch up with a few of my mates, jump in there and do my 10K there. And, I'd be handicapped most of the time. And obviously I was on the back mark and I'd probably be running around a few courses. And you know what? I have one rule, not allowed to finish last in a race. So I'd be running in these handicap races and, I'd be hanging around. I'd start my warm-up when they let the first person go because I'd be off a handicap 20 minutes and I'd be running and I'd be thinking, shit, I haven't seen anyone. This could be the day. This is the day I'll finish last in a race. So I start getting going a bit and I get going a bit more. Finally, I get to, when you get near the end of the race and suddenly I see all these runners ahead of me lined up just waiting for me to jump, to hit them and catch them and zip past them. So I never finished last. But what it did was it meant that second run, I got rolling a bit. And sometimes I was probably running, 310s, 320s in my afternoon run on a Saturday afternoon. So that's exactly how it happened. It was in a club run or maybe a Ballarat race. I would not do that for a Victorian state title or a national title, which I would treat with a complete degree of seriousness. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Accidental.
Double threshold.
Run.
Yeah, it's a double threshold. Accident. I was ahead of my time, wasn't I? I should have patented it then, and everyone would think I'm a legend. But it was absolutely not planned. And I don't know, even to this day, I'm not sure Chris Wardlaw knew or was all that happy about it. I think he probably knew what was going on, but I'm not sure he would have encouraged it. And, then I think about that. So ran my ass off over the hill course in the morning. And, the hill course that we did, Moose, you let them know, it was really, really hard. In fact, Shane Nankervis, Julian Painter, Craig Mottram, a few guys said, this is too hard. I cannot do this hill course. It's so tough. So to do that and then do maybe a hilly club run that afternoon, and then turn up the next morning, run 35K in the forest of Ballarat and 10K that night. It's a hell of a weekend. You sleep well on a Sunday night.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should mention this, Mona, because I saw a Instagram reel from one of our up-and-coming stars. He said, hills are overrated. We don't do hills anymore. And I thought, I've got someone who might disagree with you about this hills being overrated thing.
You're going to throw him under the bus?
No,
who was it?
Seth O'Donnell.
I know who it is.
Seth O'Donnell.
No, and it's interesting because I work with Seth, help him out a little bit, and we're good mates. And I love, and one of the, hills pay the bills. And so, I've had 80 people send me that little clip. Don't worry, he knows how valuable hills are. And, I think it's a context with which he says that. I love Seth and I love his socials because he's very entertaining. But he will, he was almost saying that while he was doing a hill session. So it's a weird setup there. But there is no doubt that there is a benefit in hills in your training. And I actually spoke to, this is a scoop. So I was talking to Andrew Russell, who's Seth's coach, and said, I'm having a bit of trouble. I'm actually losing a bit of muscle mass because of this diet that I'm on. And you know what Russ said to me? He said, mate, you better hit the hills. And this is Seth O'Donnell's coach. So he is actually telling me to run hills. So despite what you might see in and you got it, that's where, Miss, I reckon, and, we can all, Brad, we can chat about 1%, we can focus on 1% of my training and my running and the history and all what we've done and all that. We can focus on 1%, and everyone takes that then completely out of context. You've actually got to look at the whole picture. And if you're not doing hills, I mean, I choose to run out in the forest in Ballarat because you naturally get hills. You don't have to go to a hill course or go to park at the bottom of Anderson Street Hill to sprint up there. You just roll over the hills and you get a benefit out of that. So I choose to go there, and that's one component of my training. And no one asked me. No one goes, oh, so you run in the forest on a Sunday morning? Yeah, I've run in the forest every Sunday morning for 40 years. And they go, oh, what elevation? No one ever asked me. They just said, once you know you run in the forest, they understand. Yeah, it's a beautiful place to run, and there are hills in there, so you get an absolute benefit out of just rolling over hills. So, and if I'm ever away, and people ask me for some advice, as I say, I talk to lots of people, and I say run up Mount Buninyong or go and do my hill course, or go and run some hills, because you cannot cheat. If you ran up Mount Buninyong, there's no shortcuts. I know. So I don't have to ask you, did you go hard? Did it hurt? Did you run this time? Were you feeling good? I know that's a tough workout. So it's a great session to just tell people, run that hill. They're going to have had a decent workout, because there is no other way but to get to the top of Mount Buninyong and then jog back down. So I'm a simple man, a practical man, and that is a practical way of getting a decent session without having to think too much about it.
Do you mentor or have conversations with many of the current athletes, Mona, like informally? I'd love to see your DMs. Like, it's this interesting year at the moment. We've got this new kind of younger crop coming through as well. And it seems to be like back to that injury point. Like a lot of them seem to, like Andy's, had some issues. Pat Tierner's just withdrawn from New York Marathon. Brett and Jack have had a bit of that injury history as well. Like, do you go back and forth with many of the current guys?
What normally happens is I send them a note on socials, or on message if I've got their number, and just say congratulations on, might have broken a record or won some race. They win the Burnie 10. So Adam Goddard, I'd send him a note. I haven't got his contact details, but I'll get him and I'll send him a note and say, hey, well done. Sometimes they will reach out to me and ask for some advice. And, obviously I've never said no to anybody in my life. I can honestly say that. If anyone wants advice, I'm happy to help them out. But there's no formal arrangement with it. I don't get paid, don't get contracted, or there's no agreement with anyone. But I love staying involved, and I just love seeing young people going through the phase that I went through and the development. And if I can help them hopefully make less mistakes than I made, then that's a great benefit. I'm hoping that I'm passing on to them. So I'm really interested in where the sport's at. I think athletics generally, I'm on the board of Athletics Australia, easy for me to say, but I think athletics is as strong as it's ever been, and I reckon distance running is just in such a good place. I was at Melbourne Marathon a couple of weeks ago. Oh my God. The atmosphere there, it was just, I was just pinching myself just on the MCG thinking, wow, how good is this? Thousands of people coming together, working hard, having all their prep, and then sharing this unbelievable atmosphere at the end of an event, sharing the experience with their family, friends. And it's a bit like those old triathlon days, when Jack comes in, or, we see the half guys finish and girls finish, there's kind of not that many there, and we all focus on the elites. Did they run fast? Didn't they? And then as the runners start coming in, can they break 3 hours, 3:30, 5-minute Ks, 4 hours? And then all the stands fill, they all spill out into the concourse, and you can't go out, then you can't move. And, oh, my God, how positive is that just for general life, to see things like that happening. And, distance running, we are in a purple patch. And, I like to say, people ask, I speak at different groups of people, be in the moment right now, be in this moment, because we are enjoying distance running like we've never had the opportunity to do before. So it hurts. We have our ups and downs. You have your bad result. But at the end of the day, we are a part of a movement that is really, really special. And, I've come from being where it was crazy back in the 80s and 90s, and to see it now where it's normalised, and so many people having conversations with me about the joy that they are getting out of running is just, I sleep well at night just thinking how good's this.
And on that, like the increase of people in events, like Ballarat's a good example of that. So 4,700 the first year, this year was 9,400, and you're looking at to increase it to 12,500 in April next year for the third edition, which should be so exciting for your home course.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And, for me, I had a coffee with Adam at the Lakeview Hotel about 4 years ago, and to think that we could have got to this stage in such quick time is just, it beggars belief, and I'm just so happy. And it seems to have just captured people's imagination. I'm not sure what we're doing here, but I think we're runners and we know what runners want, and you experienced it, Brady. You ran well, and I think most people who have been here tend to think there's something special about Ballarat Marathon that I don't know. And, we are and whilst we're not changing the courses, we've listened and we're taking the hills out and it's flat and fast, and we're not going to make any changes. We are going to enhance the experience. So, we're not going to rest. We want this to be the best and best experience of a marathon that you do in Australia. And we won't be the biggest, but I tell you what, if you come here, you won't be disappointed, because we will do everything we possibly can to make the experience for you as positive as it can be. And even if you don't run a PB, you'll have a great time. And that's on us. We've grown so quickly in a couple of years, but it's a challenge we're happy to face.
Well, the monitor sign you're doing something right is that registrations for the marathon and the half marathon are up, I think, over 60% on this time last year. So that's a good sign that you've had two good years and people want to get involved.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll sell out a couple of them, so we can maximise the roads, and again we won't over. I think that 12,500, and we're probably going to just make sure that we don't overcrowd the course. So I think we'll make sure that it's that participation aspect is really strong for people. So, they're flat and fast. The weather will be perfect again. We've got perfect the first year, pretty good this year, and it'll be even better next year. Lock it in. I've already had a look at the weather, and it's going to be perfect. It's never bad in Ballarat anyway.
Moose reckons we're due for a bad year, Mona.
Yeah, well, yeah. I reckon, though, April in Ballarat is, we always used to have the lap of the lake the first week in May, and the weather was always pretty good. Often, you get a spectacular day. So no reason why we can't. That Anzac Day weekend's always, weather-wise is pretty good, I reckon. So book it in.
With the extended numbers, Mona, will the half still go off as like the first lap of the marathon?
Yeah. So we don't want to change that, and we thought about it. We probably thought about it more the first year, to be honest, because it sort of wasn't accepted. But you'd probably have them. Most races around the world have them separate. And we thought, maybe we should have them separate. We thought, well, we're not going to have that many people the first year, so we don't have to worry. We can just start them together. And we got so much positive feedback. If you're doing the half and your mate's doing the full, you can help each other. Paces work for both, blah, blah, blah. And you get to do one lap with your friends. So we thought this year we just keep it the same. And we are very receptive to feedback. So we haven't had any negative feedback, or not. We have had some negative feedback, but not enough to need to change that. So we'll leave it as it is at the moment. And we're always looking at those things. And, we're really conscious of making sure that the experience is good for everybody. And at some point, someone's going to run up the back of somebody, as you know it does, and we try to just smooth that out and make sure that no one's affected or they don't feel like they're running. In fact, their run's in hand. Sometimes having people around you is a benefit, and that's why we changed the 10K last year for the second lap around the lake. You get a bit more company if you're in the marathon. So we're trying to think like runners would. I think we've probably done enough running in our time that we know what it's like and where the hard and difficult parts are and what it does bring to an event if you can change some things up. So just some little tweaks to add to the experience.
Have you seen an increase in, you might not know this one, Mono, but overseas entrants? Like we know a lot of people travel for the Gold Coast, the Sydneys, the Melbournes. Like have you noticed that as well in the entries?
Well, we were really surprised the first year how much international interest we had, and this year it went up a little bit again, so I'd expect it would keep growing. I think as other events are selling out, and you think of something like the attraction of something like a Sydney Marathon where, the international component's obviously really high, and that I think that just that word of mouth, think, oh, why don't you go down to Australia? Blimey, it's a great place. We had a fantastic time in Sydney and, well, I can't go in September, but August, September. Oh, why don't you go to April, May? There's this marathon down in Ballarat. It's got everyone's pumping it up. Why don't you go down there? So I think word of mouth at an international level, marathon tourism is really strong. I mean, I'm going to New York. We're off to New York this week to, as part of Run Fun Travel to help out over at New York, not running, just helping out the runners that are there. So that running tourism is a real boom, and it's a great way to see the world and get a run in at the same time. We all love our running. Why wouldn't you travel and do it while you can? So we are finding that people, they're looking to marathons, and we're now, Ballarat's fourth or fifth, I don't know, on people's radar. You're probably, I reckon we're fourth or fifth in Australia now for a marathon of choice for people. So that will certainly get international interest.
And that, sorry, Moose, I was just going to go like that sub-elite kind of vibe as well that I've been a part of the last few years. It's really the prize money is really good. I think you guys have $60,000 prize money out for grabs this year, including $6,000 in for the marathon winners. And I think there's going to be some details soon on the website about Elite Athlete Program. You're setting the times, Mona. How are you going with that, the qualifying times to get into that?
Yeah, I got it wrong last year, didn't I? Or this year with the women's time. I had to go back and change that. But I thought we were, I want to make it, it's funny, we looked at times and I thought we were on the money, but I got a message pretty quickly. So we changed that out a little bit. But, we want to be inclusive, but you also have to, we want to make sure elite athletes, we're not just letting anyone in. You've got to make sure that, I like to have categories and stick to it if I can. I'm a bit like the pacing time, get in your right group. I used to, pace at 3 hours at Gold Coast and, 50 to 100 people, I reckon 80 of them were never going to break 3 hours, but they just think they're going to. So, if you train, run with me because I'm going to get you under 3 hours, not because I'm going to perform miracles. So I think be realistic. And, I like to think that the elite athlete component of our race is pretty special, and we really look after the elites well, but we want them to come. I think it's one of the real surprises that I've noticed is that with the quality of fields, on the Saturday for the National Australian Road Mile Championship and the 5K and just the quality and depth of our events has been really good, and we're going to make sure we keep to that. So we want to keep it sort of not exclusive, but you got to earn your keep. We're not going to just bring you along and throw you in the elite race unless you deserve it.
So what you're saying is Moose can't rely on his 2019 marathon times to get an elite start next year.
Hall of Famer down there. Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Who? Did he exist in Ballarat at some point? No, he's you three are friends of our event. We know how great you've been supporters of our event, and we love that. The running fraternity has been fantastic in the way they've even the criticisms that we've got have been in a really positive way. You know how people can criticise and they can just have a go at you, or they can actually give you some feedback that they genuinely want to see enhance the event. And we've just been wrapped with the reaction that we've had. And you guys have contributed to that, and your listeners, they are our demographic. We are really keen to make sure that we grow this event. It's grown so quickly, we've got to control it a little bit, but it's exciting, and I'm just absolutely delighted with the growth and the interest we've had over the couple of years, and don't see any reason why we can't continue.
Place to go, listeners. 98 metres of elevation, especially if you're in Victoria. It's nice and easy to get to. I've travelled the world.
Look at you, Brady. Travelled all the way around the world, and your PB's set in Ballarat.
I was about to say that, Croaks. I've been to Valencia, been to Berlin, been to Japan, been to Chicago. 2 fastest times I've ever ran, 2 seconds apart, were in Ballarat. So,
there you go. I reckon there's a lot to be said for just doing. You don't have the jet lag, the travel, the different food, the different environment. Waking up, in your own bed or nearby, and just driving down and wandering down to the start. I reckon there's some factors. There's running and the training that you're doing, and then there's those peripheral things with your nutrition, your mind, and all of that environment stuff. And I reckon that's one advantage you get in Ballarat is, you get up and down you walk, and the preparation's pretty set, so you can worry about your running and don't have to worry about all those other peripheral things that sometimes can distract you from focusing on the running.
Yeah, and even the course is very simple as well. Like the fact that you do it twice, and it's like get to Vic Park, do your lap of Vic Park, get up to the turnaround, get to the lake, finish it off, do it again. Like it sounds like it's undervalued, but it's like a very simple process where you can just concentrate on running well. Don't have to worry about all the other stuff.
Yeah, and that was my idea, was you're never going in a straight line for too long.
Yeah.
I always like, bit of variety and mixing it up without making it confusing. So that was I didn't really want to go around the lake twice, but it's Ballarat. Apparently we have to do that. So we didn't have much choice. It's my lake, but it's, it's probably a bit long that second time. I knew that, if you're getting a little bit tired, it's quite challenging because you are running away from the finish line, a bit like, Melbourne Marathon up the Tan. That's a hard bit. You're heading towards the finish line. You see the MCG and then someone says, oh yeah, we're just teasing you. You got to turn around and go away from the finish line now. Well, that's a bit like that. On the other side of Lake Wendouree, you were kind of through the guards, you're running away from the finish line, and you're hitting that, that 38 to 38K. That's the challenging, tough part of the event. If it's windy, it's pretty brutal. But such is life, 2 laps. And, we thought about 1 lap. There's absolutely no way we'd get 98 metres of elevation in 1 lap, I can tell you that, because if we differ from the current course, we're obviously going to get some rises. So that's one of the disadvantages if we ever do end up going to a 1 lap course. But at the moment, we're happy with what we've got. Ballarat's a beautiful city to run, and that boulevard up Sturt Street through the Arch is pretty special. And Vic Park, the lake, we've got great parklands that you can enjoy. And yeah, I was lucky.
My favourite part's that Pleasant Street, when you turn off Sturt Street and then it's just like the crowds are like on top of you. That's the best part of the course. People are yelling at you.
Apparently, I've never seen that, I've been down the start-finish line. Apparently, it's amazing up there. So I can almost point to the corner you're talking about from where I'm sitting right now. But apparently, it's just an incredible atmosphere, a bit like, Boston through Wellesley, and some of those international courses have their favourite spot. Well, that's a ripper, Long Pleasant Street, apparently.
Hey, Mona, other questions that aren't Ballarat related, but can I get a prediction from you? Who holds the marathon record on the 31st of December this year? Is it still Andy and Sinead, or you think it's under threat?
No, I reckon it's holding for a little while. I reckon, yeah. How honest am I going to be? That's a great question. I can be really honest, but there'll be people listening who won't be happy if I'm too honest. I think there's a bit of things are happening. We all know there's a bit of a change in the guard. There's some young bucks and young ladies who are about to step up, and I reckon it's exciting. The next couple of years, there's going to be, the kingpins. Do they hold? Do they get knocked off? Who comes through this new group? We could name 20 people, men and women, who are going to make their mark on Australian marathon running. Not all 20 of them are going to do it. who are the two that are going to really be outstanding? I reckon, I think Leanne Rose Davies, very exciting, Izzy. So I reckon that Sinead's record's probably the one that's really looking shaky. But and how good is it to have Sinead back? I sent her a message just to see her back and smiling. Absolutely smiling, like she was actually enjoying being back running. I was smiling on the inside for her. So, but I reckon there's a couple there. I think the women's record be the first to go, and they've all been kind of teasing it but haven't got to it. So it shows how good a time it is. We were actually talking about that on the run tonight. Valencia Half's, is that downhill and tailwind, that course? How they run so fast down there? My God.
They look like they're sprinting, don't they?
Pharmaceuticals.
Right, possibly. I don't know what they do, but whether they protect from the wind or they drag you or something. But that half yesterday was just incredible. So, so that record has stood. But I think Andy's, couple of niggles and things happening. So that'll be in a holding pattern. So I reckon that'll be a couple of years yet. So that'll stand for a little while yet.
Any more questions for him, boys, before we let him go? Could listen to him all day.
One more. Who's his dream athlete that he would love to see line up at Ballarat Marathon?
Okay, you'll know this because you won't. You
can't say me. Can't say me, Mona.
No, it's a male. It's Edwin Flack, but he's not going to turn up because he's dead. But I always refer to Edwin Flack because he is the father figure of the Olympics, and I grew up, admiring him because he was our first representative. He was the person that gave us this string that we've been to every Olympic game since, and he actually did run the marathon. He didn't finish it, but he started it. So I don't think he finished in the end, but he won a couple of events and played tennis for England or something. I don't know how that worked out, but anyway, so he'd be the one that I'd want. But you know what? If I had one, it'd be Safan, because in Sydney she was just unbelievable. I've never seen a person just be just a magnet. I just wanted to hear her and listen to her speak. She is vibrant, she's funny, she's vivacious, she's everything that is good about distance running. And if we could have her on the start line of Ballarat, that would be as good as it gets, I reckon, Moose.
What about in that road mile, Mono? A bit of Cam Myers and Jess Hull on the Saturday afternoon. That would get the people out on the streets.
Yeah, I reckon, you know what, you could get a few, couldn't you? Because what was it at the Worlds? We had 9 in the final who hadn't been in the final in Paris or something. So the depth in mile road racing is incredible. So I wouldn't pick 1 or 2 names. I would actually just get a field and make that race a race. And really, when they turn and come back down Lydiard Street and, have 3 or 4 of them make that sort of right-hand turn and sprint to the finish, that is just gold. And we had drone footage of them coming down Lydiard Street. It was sensational footage from north-south, I think, who did the footage, and watching that race unfold. I love the closeness of the mile finish. So that for me would be assemble a field that's going to be, photo finish across the line, and I'll be the judge and I have to separate them. That'd be my luck. I'd get it wrong.
Got one last one for him, Croaks, so we're letting him go.
I just wanted to get your thoughts on Sydney Marathon as Australia's first marathon major as a spectacle.
Yeah, and I see it. I'm on the board there now, and I've known Lardy since we were kids and ran around. I used to run against Lardy. Those New South Welshmen, couldn't let them beat us, could we, Croaks? You bloody north of the borderers. Anyway, so to see it, and I've kind of was interesting for me, because I was sweating over the candidacy process, and then finally in New York last year when it was announced we were a marathon major, I kind of thought, wow, great. Take a breath, the work here is done. And then I suddenly got to a couple of weeks out from Sydney Marathon and I thought, oh, wow, those other 6 are pretty big races. we're number 7. Geez, we got to bloody deliver here. We are under pressure. And I thought, I don't know. I'm not sure how this is going to go. And then we had that Friday night where, Tanya and I were in the VIP area, and we've kind of thought, we'll wander up. And suddenly there's this blue carpet. There's this through the finish line, all these interviews with the Australians, the wheelies, and then they rolled out our elite field. And I said to Lardy, we are a marathon major. We deserve it. That was just spectacular. And then the weekend unfolded as it did, and my nervousness just disappeared because we absolutely delivered. And we did one thing that I'd never seen in Australia before. Burnie probably had it when I was running years ago, and I was down there last year, and it was pretty good. Sydney, the whole town embraced it. Normally when we have a big marathon, everyone in town goes, damn, we've got this bloody marathon on the weekend. Let's all go for holidays and let's all exit. Don't go anywhere near the CBD because it's going to be chaos. This year, everyone came in to see our marathon, and they either had someone a part of it or they wanted to see our field or whatever they came in for, but they embraced it. So it was Sydney's marathon. They owned it. And it's really difficult to get that, Croaks, but we did that this year. That's when you become a world marathon major. When you're not an imposition on the city that you're in, you are embraced by the city, the state and the country. And Australia should be proud that Sydney Marathon now is bringing some of the world's best athletes and international marathon runners from all around the world to showcase what is one of the world's most beautiful cities.
Yeah, that was a great weekend.
How many boards you sitting on, Mona?
Just 3. I just got re-elected to the Athletics Australia board again. Com Games, Athletics Australia and Sydney Marathon. So Sydney Marathon's as a consequence of, it's owned by Athletics Australia. So we have a board member from Athletics Australia on there. And so it's a nice fit, and I really enjoy the involvement there. But yeah, I'm patron of a few things, but I think they're the only 3. I'm event ambassador for everything as well. And I am trying to just reduce and, have more impact in the areas that I'm involved in. That's probably fair to say, and reducing the broad brush with things I'm involved in. But I love what running's doing at the moment. And, here I am 25 years retired and still loving what's happening, and my involvement in athletics and distance running's, as strong as it's ever been, and I'm loving it.
I've got another question now because of the boards that you said you were on. Now, Commonwealth Games next year, an event that's obviously close to your heart, multiple times champion. There's not going to be a marathon next year. It's an abbreviated track and field, schedule.
Yep.
Is Com Games slowly on the way out?
I reckon it's back. And it was gone. We were done and dusted. And, don't start me on the politics of Ballarat and the regional Victorian Games and all that sort of stuff. But we were done and done. So I am obviously one of the most disappointed people that there isn't a marathon. There's no road events. And, I would have thought a mass participation event, when you talk about getting the city to embrace it, Glasgow, could have put on a terrific mass participation event around the marathon, or even a half marathon, in getting it done and dusted in an hour and open the road. So I'm disappointed with that. But we needed to have a Games. Glasgow put up their hand, and we are so grateful, because if we had missed one, its future might have been in doubt. And now we've seen a couple of countries. We had 5 initial countries bid for 2030 and narrowed it down to a couple, and going back to India in 2030. So, and with maybe what will be an enhanced program. So that's what we're hearing. So I think you'll see Glasgow being really well received, and financially, a safe pair of hands. And I think that will open up the opportunity for other countries to bid. And when you think of the relevance, don't underestimate how important athletes, and I'm athlete-centric, as I'm sure you all know, how athletes really see it as a focal point in their careers. And, it's either the first game, I can roll out about 20 people whose first experience was at Com Games. They went on to be absolute superstars. And Kathy, Steve Hooker, plenty of athletes, myself included. So we know the relevance of how important it is. But also, I just snuck into that team in 86. It may be an athlete's only team, Croaks. And if you go to the Commonwealth Games and you never go to a World Championships or an Olympic Games, you can still say you are a Commonwealth Games athlete, and that is a real feather in your cap. So I think just that broad spectrum of athletes that get to experience Commonwealth Games, and we don't have teams like the Worlds now. You can go to the Worlds, but you're only with athletics. So it's only the Olympics or university games, which, is terrific as well, and the youth games. So I love this shared sport. And I didn't meet a lot of other countries, but what I did do was I met a lot of athletes from other sports who I call my friends now. So that cross-pollination with other sports, I think that's a really important thing of things like Olympic and Com Games where, you are a part of an Australian team in its true sense of the word.
Yeah, well put, Mona. It's been a privilege, listeners. April, what are we, 25th and 26th, 2026. Get your entries in. They'll go fast. It will sell out like every other marathon in Australia is doing at the moment. Flat, fast course, good weather. Steve Moneghetti's the boss of it and in charge, so it's going to be a good show. Thanks again, Mona.
No worries. Look forward to seeing the three of you there. We'll have a race. What are we going to give a Croaks? You're shaking your head. It's not looking good. You're not going to make it. Don't worry. I won't get there either. But
actually,
we're going to pretend.
I'm a chance of getting there because it's that far away. So
you'll be right. You'll be uninjured by then. Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, great. Thanks for your support. Always good to see you, Brady, Croaks. Well, and you too, Moose, of course, mate.
Thanks, Mona.
He can talk, fellas. I could listen to him all day as well. It's going to be a long show. We've just had a good chat off air as well, but we've got to bring this show home.
How many people are going to hit him up for advice tomorrow?
Slide into the DMs. He said he'll never not give people advice. You ask, you receive. Get in there.
Hey, you got to do your week, Brady. We missed that.
No, it's not going to go for long. Bit of cross training. I think I exercised maybe 6 of the 7 days, which was good. And then I'm starting to feel good, boys. Starting to feel good. Yesterday at the gym, did a bit of elliptical, did a bit of got on the rowing machine for my 1K time trial. 3 minutes 50, I think it was, for those playing at home. So under 4 minutes again.
That's a PB?
Yeah, 2-second PB. Have you got a rowing machine in your gym?
No.
In your house?
No.
You'd be pretty good at it because you're like aerobically fit and you've got big arms. See, I don't think I could.
What's the ski erg one? That's what I want to do. I wanted one of them in my gym.
I had to send a photo to me mate the other day saying, how do I use this thing? And he just said, just like you're trying to throw a bag of ice on the ground to break it up. That was the
I would have thought it would have been something a little bit sort of more crude than that.
Yeah, so I reckon you'd go all right because my VO2 is obviously really good, but my arms are so small that I can't get the rowing machine going. But then I walked past the treadmill and I'm like, I'd lifted some weights at this stage as well. And I'm like, I'm just going to jump on. I just said 1 minute treadmill, set it to 5 minute K pace. And I just did 1 minute on the treadmill and it was so good to return to run. No pain, no awareness. Felt like a bit of a baby elephant, baby giraffe on there, a bit all over the place. But when I was saying when I first when I stopped running, I'm like, it just didn't feel like I was covering the ground like I usually do. Like I wasn't in rhythm, like something was happening between my brain and my body. None of that at all. And I'm just like, it was the best minute of my week. Had endorphins for the whole day. But I always said when it feels good, I'm going to add a week just because, like, why not?
So 1 week from now, 1 week from... Oh, no, you're into the week. You're going to start running this week.
So it'll be 5 weeks from the scan on Wednesday. And then I think I'll hit up Paddy and get some professional advice, Paddy Stowe, who's been helping me out with some scans and some advice along the way and just see what he reckons. And then, go from there. But I feel like it's very close to getting out there for some continuous running. Or I think I've got to do that stuff where you go minute on, 5 minutes walk or something to start off with. Some light at the end of the tunnel. But let's thank some Patreon supporters, eh? Who you got, Croaks?
I've got Mark Windsor. Mark lives in Mooloolaba up there in Queensland. He's run 9:11 for 3K at the 2020 USC 3,000 metre champs, 15:44 at the Sandgate Park Run, 33:50 at the 2021 Sunshine Coast 10K, 73:22 at the 2019 Sunshine Coast Half Marathon, and 2:43 at last year's Gold Coast Marathon. I think he's the clinical trial coordinator at the University of the Sunshine Coast in the exercise physiology department. So thank you for your support, Mark, and congratulations on those PBs. Pretty solid.
Some quick PBs there. Thank you, Mark, for your support of the show. Who you got, Moose?
I have Paul Luttrell from Hobart. He's pretty quick too, actually. PB's 9:16 for 3K on the track, 32:24 for 10K at this year's Lakeside, 74:23 at this year's Ballarat Half, and 2:35 at this year's Melbourne Marathon. So we are talking about someone in a hot vein of form right now. Got his own YouTube channel. It's called A Serious Hobby Jogger. Okay, I'm into my YouTube now.
6,500 subscribers. I'm just opening it up now.
Wow.
I think this might be the guy that's sort of taken a leaf out of like the single Norwegian singles method.
What's that mean?
You know that? Well, like threshold, but just one session a day, not doubles.
He ran a 14-minute PB at Melbourne. That's his latest video from 5 days ago to run his 2:35.
Yeah. How old is he?
He's got a beard.
His name's
How old
Paul.
you got to be to have a beard?
There's not many young people called Paul.
Josh Harris was on his YouTube channel 3 weeks ago.
Oh, they film workouts and stuff? Or they do interviews?
Well, I don't want to watch the video whilst we're recording here, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Surprised you haven't watched it. You're a YouTube fiend.
Surprised you haven't been a guest, Brady.
Yeah, hit me up, Paul.
Surely the only podcast in Australia. It is YouTube. But he's not good on YouTube though. He's better. He's better with the cameras off.
Yeah, he does a bit of that vlog stuff where he runs along with his camera and stuff. Does a bit of content. Yeah. Good on you, Paul. Thanks for supporting the Inside Running podcast as well. I want to thank Daniel Rees. I reckon I met Daniel a few times. Diamond Creek, Victoria. He's quick as well, boys. Listen to this. PB, 156 for 800 metres, 402 for the 1,500 metres. That was at the 1998 Under-20 state final. He's also ran 902 for 3K in 1998 as well at the De Castella 3K B race, 1640 for 5K, 34:15 for 10K, 79 minutes for the half marathon, and 2:53 at the 2021 Melbourne Marathon. In the past has been a head coach at the Diamond Creek Runners and now has his own coaching business called Believe and Achieve Run Coaching. So a massive thank you, Daniel, for your support of the Inside Running podcast, as well as Mark and Paul, all our Patreon supporters, for keeping us alive each and every week. It was a big week last week of bonus content. We had the monthly, and then we kicked off Road to Valencia. Croaks, something different this year as well. We're catching up with different individuals that some we know, some we don't know. Well, the listeners don't know yet. So they're going to get to know a few people, hear some training, hear why Valencia, and you kick things off with Rob Wilson, your boy.
Yeah, it's good fun. He's changed his prep a little bit compared to every other marathon. He's part of a heat study. So that finishes in a couple of weeks. So we're going to get him on closer to Valencia again to sort of recap from last week through to probably a week out from the race, but also get the exercise physiologist on to talk about the results for that study for Rob.
Got the next 3 weeks booked in as well, and there's some two of the three listeners would have heard from before, and there's a new name that we want to get you or let you get to know. So that will be fun.
Who's doing who?
Christian.
Are we all interviewing?
Oh, mate, you just give me a road to Sydney this week, which is happening Wednesday.
Yeah, do something, Moose.
Do something. Attention on road to Sydney, and Croaks and I will do the other heavy lifting.
I think Moose has got another high-profile interview to do this week.
Does he?
Yeah. Big name.
How do I not know about this?
How do I not know about this? Me?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Zach was doing a big one, Croaks.
Zach was organising it. I've got an interview this week as well.
Yeah, you got to do that one as well.
Who have I
The
got?
biggest name,
Tell-
not just a big name.
Huge name.
Moose, how do you not know this?
I have that this week.
I'm not sure when it's locked in, but yeah, you said you'll do it, and you put
Yeah.
your availability in the group chat.
Oh, okay. There you go. I'll be ready.
There you go.
I'll be ready to
So
go.
patron spoilers. You'll get road to Sydney this week as well, plus a road to Valencia. Road to Sydney catch up with Moose, Nick Earl, and Leanne Pompeani, who's just taken another win over the weekend, which we'll get to shortly. Running news, thanks to Axel Coffee Roasters for bringing us this week's race results. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. Did you see Jack Simpson as well, boys? He did it. He won the World Barista Championships. This is on mainstream news. Benny St. Lawrence is messaging us saying, hey, the boys won it. Runners all over the world are getting around Jack Simpson over there in, where was it? Milan. He won the world champs. So massive congratulations to Jack and all the people at Axel Coffee there. Burnie 10K happened yesterday. You were on the exercise bike, Croaks. I was on the elliptical watching this one. And yeah, it was a good race.
Did you have any issues with the live stream?
Mine was good.
From the start of the race?
I probably turned it on 5 minutes in.
Oh, I had massive. Mine only came on in the last 2 minutes of the race.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on that.
Click the right link?
Yeah, what was the?
I was on Duff Media.
Yeah, Duff Media, and it literally just was not working for me. And then with 2 minutes to go, it started working.
No, I watched it on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
it was live
okay.
on the Facebook page, which is good. They do a pretty good job, that Duff Media, a lot of split screen. The only thing they kind of missed was they cut away to some of those interviews they do before the race, the night before. And then they threw back and Leanne had dropped Bronte Oates, so you missed the move. But it's always hard to know when that's going to happen. But
They got the local commentary team out too.
Oh, they love the Tassie boys, don't they? Knowledge of some other people. They're calling Adam Goddard from Victoria. They're like, yeah, they're mates from Victoria, Adam and Ed Goddard, and Ed Marks. You're like, no, they're not. He's from South Australia. But they openly admit too that they're like, yeah, didn't know much about this guy leading into it other than his Melbourne Marathon 10K 2 weeks ago. And you're like,
I liked it. I liked it at the 9K mark. He goes, and they're going past whatever it is, primary school. Yep, that's where I went to primary school.
Local knowledge is high. Local knowledge. It's Grant Penny. I don't know who the other guy is, but Grant used to do a lot of the professional Stall Gift and those kind of handicap races back in the day too.
He's also done some of the Grand Prix meets as well.
Yeah. He's the real deal. Go through the results, Croaks.
Yeah, so Adam Goddard, I'd say this is probably his the biggest win of his career so far. He won in 28:36, beat Ed Marks 28:37. Brian Fay was third in 28:47, and Matt Buckle was fourth overall, which means he was third in the Australian champs, running 29:01. And in the women's, Leanne Pompeani, comfortable win, 31:46, only a couple of seconds off the off her own course record. Bronte Oates second, 32:46, and Holly Campbell third in 33:02.
Yeah. And Leanne put that minute into Bronte in the last. They were together at 4.5K, weren't they? At least 4K.
Yeah, Leanne's so strong.
So strong.
But I guess Bronte as well, I think, she'd had a bit of an issue because she pulled out of Melbourne 10K. So probably Bronte's probably not quite in the shape that she was, sort of around that national cross. But not taking any away from Leanne. The boys race, coming down with 400 to go, Ed's sort of sitting behind Adam. Adam's looking like he's working fairly hard. And you think, Ed's just going to peel around him here. There's no distress on his face whatsoever, but just didn't happen. And Ed sort of just crossed the line and there was no, there didn't seem to be any sort of grimace on his face. It was just still beautiful form all the way through to the line.
Some people do that though, don't they? They always look smooth no matter how much they're hurting.
Yeah.
But I wonder, and just he's only 85% fit. He said that to us last week. So you can't be too hard on the guy because he's probably done pretty well to hang in there as long as he did with Goddard, who's flying at the moment. But do you reckon he's come second a lot of times? Just put a watch on it. Does he have the killer instinct? Put this person away. And, like, you know, how some people just turn into like their technique shit house. They got spit up their face. They're like, their arms all over the place. Like, they look terrible. They got that mongrel in the
Can
last...
he go to the well? Is that's your question?
Well, I guess so. Like, I remember Isaac dipped him at, what was it? Was it Burnie 10? He got dipped by Isaac at the line really late when it looked like he had the, not Burnie 10, it was Launceston 10, when he had the race kind of won. I reckon there was a couple of those AV relays where he'd run the fastest time in the relays and it would come to an individual race and like Andy would get him, and Andy's a brilliant cross-country runner. So it's not like he's getting done by hacks, but he comes second quite a lot.
Yeah, like, I don't know, but then
and he looks
like,
so good coming second. That's what I mean.
But I think part of it is his makeup in terms of the type of runner he is. Like Adam Goddard sort of come from more of a 1,500 meter background, and so I don't feel like Ed has that real change of pace late in the race. I think for him to win a race, he needs to break them like a lot earlier because he just doesn't have that change. Like, I don't think you can say he doesn't go to the World. Like, guy finished 23rd at World Cross. Like, you're not doing that if
you have to go to the well there. Yeah. Well, how old is Adam Goddard?
He did win Albert Park 10K and 5K this year. But yeah, so like second at Run Prix last year, second at the Australian Cross Country Champs last year, second at the Launceston 10 last year as well.
And he did miss all that training. Like, that's the thing. Yeah. It's like you give him another month, whereas Adam's definitely had this good. Adam's in this sort of purple patch, like really strong period of running for him.
He's in some shape, Adam Goddard.
Yeah.
Some real shape.
Is he still, he's still pretty young, Adam Goddard, right? What's the age on Adam Goddard?
Brett beat Ed Marks as well once at Launceston 10 as well.
No Stewie either.
No Stewie. But Jeff had put on his Strava that he bumped into him on his Sunday long run and they were running together. 22,
Adam Goddard.
Put a watch on that guy.
Yeah. He's a 3:38, 1,500 metre man.
Yeah, so he's got speed, and you should have seen what he did to those boys at Melbourne Marathon 10K. It got lost a bit in the results, but he cleared out 2K into the race, like two different categories. He's going to be a good runner. Looking forward to hearing Leanne's recap on Road to Sydney Wednesday night, Moose. It'd be pretty good to hear that. And why Nick Earl wasn't there sitting on her the whole way trying to beat her.
Yeah, I would have thought he probably would have got dropped, to be honest. At that pace.
Weird not seeing Nick in a Tasmanian race.
Yeah. I don't get it either.
Valencia Half Marathon, this happened yesterday.
Yes, it was sort of warm there, 19, 20 degrees, so not optimal conditions for running. 60% humidity, that's not bad. But 19, 20, that is kind of high. And
a bit breezy, Moose. I believe in the sort of last 5K or so, it was a bit breezy.
Yeah, I saw it wasn't the last K, but it was probably, there was a patch maybe like up to 19K that I saw was sort of direct headwind. And then they turned left and maybe got a bit of a side wind. But it's a place where you go to run world records basically, or you go to target them, or national records, PBs, all that sort of thing, as fast as you get. So to cop a 19, 20 degree day, I reckon that's probably the worst Valencia conditions for any Valencia race that we've ever seen. Normally it's much cooler than that. Yomif.
Yeah, it was 11 degrees there this morning. I was talking to Chriso before.
Oh, yeah, so, Chriso. Well, do you want to talk about Chriso's results before we go through the main? So Big Chriso's run 73 something, was it?
Yeah, 73.
Chriso no good in the heat, though. No good in the heat. He had a good run in the cool weather the week before in the 10K. He doesn't need to be going good yet. He's got Valencia Marathon.
But 73, mate. That's not going good. That's an absolute disaster.
Jogged it in. He ran Berlin Marathon like 3 weeks ago. He's got Valencia Marathon coming up in another 6 weeks.
Do you know what you need to do? You know what the problem is? Every time he has one of these good races, he gets so up and about. He's like, boys, need to do a monthly. Next time he does that, say, you need to string together 2 good races in a row before we bring the monthly.
Toby and I get hammered on the beers because who has a nighttime recording. We got way too loose on that monthly. Those boys
I don't reckon. Anyway. I thought it was all right. I thought it was an all right one. I reckon, but geez, you worry about him.
Close to some areas.
73 minutes, mate. That is fucking awful. I mean, even jogging in off it, but like the guy wanted to run 67 minutes. That's 6 minutes in a half marathon off what you want to run. 6
maybe he needs
minutes.
maybe he needs to quieten the noise about these hit lists that he has before the
I do
race.
love the hit list though. When I'm back going, if I ever get back going good, I'm going to copy that and put out my own hit list.
Let's get to the winners and the losers. Well, we talked about the loser, but we'll talk about the winners.
Don't say that.
He knows I'm joking. Look, for a professional athlete, he's not winning.
He's not a professional. He took the baby to the race. He probably got no sleep the night before.
Look, I don't.
Put that race in 8 degrees and not 18 degrees. That's a different story.
Oh, you reckon he's running 6 minutes quicker?
He's from northern Norway. He grew up in the cold weather. He's a Viking. He doesn't know how to perform in the heat.
He ran well. He had a good run. So Yomif Kejelcha, he won. He ran a time trial basically. It actually ruined the footage totally because all of a sudden the lead camera is just on one bloke and you just don't see you don't see the second pack. So it's actually pretty, it's kind of underwhelming when you watch the race with one bloke just time trialing. You can't compare how he looks compared to other people or whether he's surging or not because there's no one around that he's trying to drop. And so Yomif, next time, mate, just stay back with the other fellas and give us a bit of a spectacle. He ran 58.02, which is, I think he's a 57.30 guy, right?
Yeah, he is. He faded. So his 5K splits were 13.35, then 13.38, 13.46, 14.02, and then 3.01 for the last 1.1.
You can't run a world record as a time trial with no paces. You just can't do it. It's just not possible.
Kip Blemo did a pretty good job. How long did he have pacemakers for?
When you're
in 56 something?
Have you noticed that record hasn't been ratified yet?
What are you saying, Brady?
Well, Yomif, he made a reference to it in the interview the day before, supposedly, about mate, hopefully the cars are close to me this year. Remember that car was on, and then for some reason they haven't ratified it. Which is odd to take this long to not. No, it's I was listening to a podcast today that was talking about how they ratified Ruth Chepngetich Chicago record really quickly to be remember there was so much controversy about if she was doping. So then they thought to get rid of all the controversy, let's just ratify this very quick. But then they were making the point that how come Kip Lemo's from Valencia last year hasn't been ratified yet.
But Kejelcha's took ages to be ratified as well. His has only just been ratified from last year's Valencia.
I'd love someone to explain to me why, what is the process? And isn't it surely World Athletics just have a team or whatever that go through a criteria to ratify it? Why does it take different times for different races?
Do they have to remeasure the course?
I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
think there's the double checking of the course, that everything's being put in the right spots or whatever. Yeah. Second place was Rodrigue Quizera. Where's he from? Rodrigue Quizera.
Let me have a look here.
That sounds like Brazilian or something.
It's Kazakhstan or something, isn't it? He runs for
Burundi, I think. Burundi.
Burundi. Yeah,
BDI? I'm guessing that's Burundi.
Yeah. 58.38. And then Brian Kibor was 58.39 for third. Is it Andreas Almgren?
Oh,
Andreas?
Yeah.
Andreas. He ran 58.41 for a European record. And he was in this pack, and he was the bloke who was leading the charge. Every time the camera went on him, he was off the front, head down, into the wind, just charging along. So that's insane run from Andreas. European record. So the fastest to ever do it out of that continent.
And he got the 5K European record too during the track season, didn't he? And then obviously the medal. Did he get the medal in the 10K?
He did.
Yeah.
Didn't go so great in the 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly ran out in the 5, and then he's had a season.
Some other relevant results. Jimmy Whelan. Now, Old Zave's athletic club. He wore the singlet too, the red and black. He came 22nd, ran 61.37. So he was the fastest Australian out there. Was that what he was going for?
I think he was hoping for sub 62.
Okay, so big result for Jimmy.
His improvement curve is huge. Like, obviously super talented on the bike, but it wasn't that long ago that he had broken 30 minutes for the first time over 10K. And then he won a 10K race maybe a month ago in like low 29 minutes. And then he's absolutely killing it.
His World Athletics profile just goes from 2015, when he was probably a junior. He ran 8:19 for 3K, to 2025. Just 10 years being a professional cyclist.
So that 8:19 was the De Castella under 20 champs.
Yeah.
He finished seventh, and Ramsden was first. Ollie Hall was second. I think like a Josh Torley was in there, like a fourth place. Yeah, that era.
He is so tall, like a big string bean.
He's so leggy, isn't he?
Big levers, massive levers on him. Yeah,
he moves so well. Compared to, like, I saw some videos of like the people he was running with, and he looked way better than them, like in terms of how he was moving.
Yeah. Isaac Heyne was 26th in 62:13, and Alex Yee, the triathlete, was 19th in 61:29. So he just finished in front of Jimmy. So Isaac's been over there in France, Font-Romeu, I think, or one of those high altitude centers.
Altitude camp.
And I'd say, like, that's a good 62:13, good run, but I would have thought that he would be hoping for a bit more out of that. Like going over to altitude camp, coming down to the fastest race. Although it was kind of warm, 19, 20 degrees. It probably did hurt a little bit when you're on that fine line. In the women's, crazy race. Saw the third fastest half marathon of all time, Agnes Jebet, 63:08. Went through the first 5K in 14:38. She was 16 seconds off the world record, which is insane in itself. That there's a half marathon record that exists in the 62s. Like, it's actually, is that the most crazy half marathon record the craziest record that exists in running?
What was it? 62 high? G'day, wasn't it?
It's 62. Let's 52.
No. I think she's she's second.
G'day.
Quicker than her.
Yeah,
I think G'day's first.
You sure?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought she got passed.
Put a slab on it, fellas.
Oh, slab.
It's world record, 62:52.
Yeah.
World record, area record, national record. Let me put it in the calculator.
That is like, see, look at the time. Look at Isaac Haynes running 62:13. He's like, and then there's a 62:52 out there. Anyway,
hasn't been doing much lately though, has she? Did you have a kid? I reckon she's had a kid.
G'day.
Yeah, because she stepped up to the marathon. She debuted the day I ran at Valencia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she ran all right. It was good to see her finish. She blew up, but she still ran 2:17 or something, right?
Yeah, it was still a decent run.
Speaking of G'day, whatever happened to her?
I think she had a child.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, you listening or what?
I was trying to catching up. No,
it's equivalent to 2:10.
Oh, good, Grace. Good from you.
I was busy reading something.
Ruth Chepngetich is still quicker than her.
Yeah, but we're not counting that. We're not counting it, Brady. It's gone. It might still be
3:43, 1,500, 4:02 mile, 13:42 5K, 28:32 10K. They're running that quick on the roads, aren't they?
Yeah.
That may be.
What about that Faith Biego? And we talk about how good she is, and she's running 7 seconds, right? Slower than that. Well, she's gone 3:50
for the mile.
No, for the 1,500.
Oh, sorry, 1,500. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember what her PB is off the top of my head.
I think it's 3:50, maybe 3:50, maybe 4. Did she go? Anyway.
Jess's is 3:50, isn't it?
Jess's 3:50 point something.
Yeah. Maybe it's 3:48. Maybe she went 3:48. Anyway, second place was Fotyen Tesfaye, 65:10, and then Veronique Lolio, 65:46. And you're watching Agnes Jebet running along, And you see these men around her, and you're like, oh, these good club runners. Oh, the good local blokes are out there running. And it's like 62.50 pace at the time at the 5K mark. And they're like absolute freaks themselves, just getting dropped by a lady.
But that's what it used to be. But that's what it used to be like, Moose. It was like the top club runners were pretty much equivalent to probably the world record women, whereas now you need to be a pretty good guy to keep up.
Yeah, you need to be Isaac, who wins our road races over here.
Yeah.
Some news from me. What have I got? New York Marathon field. So a few changes here. Kenenisa Bekele added, which is a big. Him and Kipchoge will go head-to-head another time. Evans
keeps getting rolled out, doesn't he?
I like this move from him, though, because there's too many times where he gets rolled out in the announcement of the elite field and then never makes it, whereas this one's like come in stealth, like
he must be fit enough to take the call.
He very finishes, though.
Poor bloke won't be injured, but he'll get food poisoning the night before.
Do you reckon Evans Chebet, though, because so here's the 2022 champ and last year's runner-up, so he's out of the race. So do you reckon the people in New York go, shit, we've lost Evans. Who can we call to build this field up a bit? Who we got on speed dial? Ring Kenenisa. See what kind of shape he's in. What's the offer? What's the price? Doesn't matter. Just get him here. Do you reckon that's what happens? He's like, I'll be there.
What accent's that, Brady?
I don't know. Yeah, not American.
A couple of old warriors out on the course, though. Kipchoge versus Bekele. Again, we were looking at this like 6 years ago. Now it's still being rolled out in front of us.
Well, it's back to the 2003 world champs in Paris. They went head-to-head.
Kipchoge backing up, I don't like. I'm not expecting much from him. I reckon this is a payday in the way to get his star. Is this his last star? I think it is. Yeah, it is. I reckon he's there in the PR team, not so much the elite athlete team. Safan's also backing up as well against some like legit ladies as well. Like this is, I think the best backup's going to be hard for her. Pat Tiernan's unfortunately out. Just read their press release. I don't know any more than that. Do you guys?
No.
No, Joe Klecker debuting. That's an exciting debut for America. Like he's a fucking good 10K runner.
He's good. He's been a bit off the boil lately, though.
Yeah, his transition to the roads hasn't been as good as people probably hoped. But still, yeah.
He's in that group with Helen O'Beary, though. That's a good person to be following around, looking to see how a marathoner gets it right.
Yeah, he's on Coffee Club this week. I haven't listened to it, but I'm sure he talks about his build-up alongside her with Dathan there.
Kipchoge will get his Guinness Book of World Records certificate for having the fastest aggregate across all world marathon majors after the weekend.
You know who he beats as well?
Yeah, Yuki.
Yeah.
Sad to see Yuki lose
that one.
Yuki was, he is a people's champ.
Yuki's had it for 7 weeks and now he's lost it.
Who had it before that?
Well,
no one because it's Sydney. Like,
I guess if you just looked at 6 of them instead of the 7, I'm not sure. Would that have been Yuki as well?
Probably Yuki.
Obviously, yeah. Thanks to Axel Coffee for this week's running news. Check them out at axelcoffee.com.au. If you're looking for a brilliant running experience next year, then the Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is the event for you. Whether you're a 2-hour and 20-minute marathoner or a 6-hour runner, we invite you to come and try the flat and fast courses. There's just 98 metres of elevation for the full marathon and 49 metres of elevation for the half marathon. The long races start and finish out the front of the historic Ballarat Town Hall, situated on the best preserved Gold Rush era streetscapes in the world. With the event perfectly placed in autumn, you get to train through the summer rather than slog it out during the cold winter months. Each of the courses has been certified to World Athletic Standards, meaning you can run a qualifying time for one of the world majors, including Sydney, by taking in the beautiful streets of Ballarat. This year, the Running Warehouse Ballarat Marathon is also a qualifying event for the 2027 World Marathon Majors Age Group Championships. And they have a team of 50 pacers who will help you achieve your goal time. On top of all that, the elite men's and women's mile races are on again and being recognised by Athletics Australia as the National Road Mile Championships. Thousands of people have already signed up for the event. If you're one of them, thank you. If you're thinking about it, now is the time to do so. Head to ballaratmarathon.com.au today. The Ballarat Marathon is proudly supported by Running Warehouse Australia, Federation University, the City of Ballarat, and Visit Victoria. A few whispers here, boys. Not whispers, just other news items, which I found interesting. Strava has dropped the lawsuit with Garmin after 21 days. We suggested maybe that was a bad move from them doing that, considering they get so much of their data from Garmin in the first place. So we can put a full stop on that one. The other one, did you read the AIU's Ruth Chepngetich? No. Did you read any of that?
No, because I don't care.
I read it. The maid or the servant or whatever was sick. And Chepngetich was sick, and she asked for some medicine, and the maid gave her what she was taking. So that's how she got popped.
That's how she got sick. So she admitted to doing wrong, and that was the excuse. So formally banned for 3 years, unknowingly taking a banned substance. However, what was the diuretic she tested positive for? You are expected to have 20 nanograms of that, and she had 3,800. So I don't know what this medication was that the maid gave her, but she has gone hard on that diuretic. Did you see the screenshots?
The screenshots, yeah.
Screenshots of like testosterone vials that someone had sent to her. And they'd sent this to her 6 months before Chicago, which is the most crazy thing that record is standing. Messages from people in WhatsApp group where they're asking her about this, like this program she's on and like how to do it and stuff.
But this is where I don't get it. It's like she's clearly lied about how it got in her system because they've got all of this other evidence.
Yeah, they said that. They said that's not. Yeah.
So if they have basically they can prove that she's sort of been lying, they should double it and make it 6 years because you're not even being honest.
Well, they took a year off it because she did agree that she'd done something wrong by taking
that's where
it's
medication. Wrong. It's like, no, you've lied because we've got this other evidence. If you're not going to tell us the truth, we're going to make it 6 years.
Chicago have got to be pissed off too. I cannot believe that record stands.
Yeah.
If you are any aspiring clean athlete, comparing yourself to that, it's,
It's like those Chinese records that stood. Same thing. Crazy.
Still stand, don't they? Some of them.
It's just
the 3
get them this year.
3K.
Yeah, she got the 1,500, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just a couple of things that I also wanted to bring up. That's sad. It breaks your hope in the sport. Over to you, Moose on the loose.
Yeah. Well, first one thing that I'm noticing is that when I'm out for a run, my tolerance for like the dickhead population that like to say what they think are clever things to you is dropped. I can no longer tolerate it. Example was in the Melbourne Marathon when I'm jogging around the course and you're jogging like one way, the runners are going the other, and old mate says in front of his wife, thinks it's the most fucking hilarious thing in the world, going the wrong way, mate. And I'm like, I'm not in the mood for this shit. Like, it's not funny. And then there was another one, same day, jogging like miles away from the race, like probably 2K away from the course, run past the bloke and goes, the race is over that way. Just stare at him, like no smile, no nothing. Just, I'm done with it. I've had 15 years of it. And at the start, I would be like, ha ha, thumbs up, oh, that's funny. Maybe then I would just turn it into a small smile. Now I'm just like cold stone stare at him. Like, not funny. And then
a few less run Forest out there, though.
There is less. It's getting less relevant. The young crew don't know it. But I was running down on the waterfront midday, and I'm running along, and this bloke sees me coming from a mile away, and I'm like, running on a red t-shirt. Maybe that's what got him going. Had a red t-shirt on or something. And then he starts like doing the running motion as I run past, like, and I'm just like, shake my head, stare at him. And he like gets angry at me because I'm not joining in his perception of a joke. and he thinks that I'm like some non-fun, like sad sack that's not fucking laughing at him mimicking me running as I run past. Ugh. And you know what? I go out and back around the town a couple of times, come back down the waterfront, and there's this fucking guy staring at me as I come back again. And he's throwing his arms up in the air like, what did I do? Like, I don't want to run down here ever again. I'll get me back in the bush where the only things that I see out there are echidnas, fucking wallabies. They're not making fun of me. They're not making smart-ass jokes as I run past. Just get me away
Fish
from
with no heads.
Oh, yeah.
You know when it's worse? You know when it's worse though, Moose, is when you're at the back end of a marathon-specific session and you're out there hating life, then you cop those comments. That's when you start to get really angry.
For sure, yeah.
And the session's gone bad.
Easy runs, you can sort of handle it because it's like, all right, well, I'm not hurting. I'm in a pretty good mood. Whereas back end of a marathon session, just look at me funny and I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
You know what gets you too? When you got headphones on and someone's trying to be a smartass and you don't know they're trying to be a smartass. So like you pause and stop being like, and then they've just got some lame joke. Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, did I stop my watch for this? I'm like, you're just a fucking idiot. Like, yeah. I thought someone was hurt or something. Like you were lost. I had to give you directions.
The marathon session one, at the start, if you're running on a road, you're like super careful of cars and you try to get out of the way as much as you can. And by the end, in the last 10% of the way, you're in the middle of the road. That car can go around. I don't care. I'm in the middle. You can. It's only another 20 minutes for you if you're driving behind me. This is my spot.
Drive over me if you have to. Please drive over me.
The other
good.
I'll save the other one for next week because I saw. Actually, I might as well. I watched this YouTube clip. Morgan McDonald actually goes. He's doing a bit of clickbaity stuff lately on his YouTube. Like, see if I can.
They all have to for the algorithm. You have to have that as your title.
Yeah,
and
right.
the image. You know, the image. It's just like, that's how you get the algorithm working for you.
Okay, don't love it. I don't love it. Not for a pro athlete to have to do that shit, but. He's something about, can I handle double threshold? And then he showed, I thought, I'll watch him do a workout. I haven't seen that for a while. And it just looked like the most grim experience ever. Like he'd do a lap around a lake or something and it was raining. And then him and his training partners would like shelter under an umbrella. They're all trying to prick each other and test for the lactate and they're getting bad results. And I'm like, this isn't running. This isn't fun. This is ridiculous. Like, imagine if Mona saw this shit going on.
Then the ranger comes past because she sees people, just pricking each other, and there's blood. Yeah, and he's like, it's okay. We're just taking lactates. It's all good.
Well, that actually happens.
Yeah, it happens in this video. But I was thinking this would just suck the enjoyment out of running totally. And I'm not sure it's that important that you need to change everything just so you know what your blood lactate values are. He's going pretty good without doing this. Anyway, I just thought people get a bit too caught up in that, I reckon.
Yeah, I've just opened up that Philly Bowden. She does it. Like her latest video is just titled "This Changes Everything." And it's got a picture of like an X-ray. It's the actual algorithm. But yeah, listeners, send us your favorite one. Send us your most clickbaity YouTube image that gets you watching it. What else are we doing? Listener question, Croaks. Bring this show home. It's been a long one.
All right. This episode's listener question is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Which one of these do you want?
Can we go the one with shoes for Moose?
Yeah. All right. Are you at a higher risk of injury when you put new shoes on? Calf went again. And that came from Christoph Pugh. Pugh?
Well, there's a bit to unpack. So you are at a higher risk of injury whenever you change the loading patterns, regardless of if it's new shoes or it's different terrain or it's a different pace. or you're running longer. So there's
bigger workouts.
Any time you change that loading pattern or the different type of stress on different tissue, you're putting yourself at risk. Now, within the shoe industry, there's certain shoes that have the same geometries, and those geometries, like some of the more familiar ones or common ones, are higher stack heights. Like high heel to toe pitches. And we saw a lot of people introduce like acute injuries or increase their risk of short-term injury when they went from a high heel pitch to a low heel pitch, because it placed excess load on the Achilles and the calf. We saw injuries come when people took stiffness out of a shoe and went into flexible shoes, places more load through the foot and ankle. If someone goes from like a really neutral minimal shoe and puts on a highly structured control type shoe, we're changing range of motion through the ankle joint. We're changing loading, like impact force, so through the different tissue of the foot. So you're potentially loading the lateral side of the foot a lot more, which can lead to risk of injury because you're just not conditioned to handle load in that area. So there's changing shoes dramatically, and then there's changing shoes like non-dramatically, we'll call it. So, for instance, you change from a Nike Pegasus to a Nike Vomero. They are two different models of shoes, but they have the same pitch height. You would consider them a very similar stability level. The loading change between those two models is not drastic, and I think you've got to be very, very sensitive to changes in load to get injured from something like that. But if you go from a Hoka Bondi into a Spike, that's a really big example. Then, your ankle tendons, your Achilles, especially your calf, is just going to do so much more work, and not a lot of people can handle that type of change in load without really risking injury. So that's probably like when we see the most injuries, especially in the past. People would put these sort of really low profile racing flats on, and they would just there would be so many Achilles injuries from that. I'm not sure. But there's also some people might argue that if you go from a really worn out pair of shoes to a brand new pair of the exact same shoe, then you're changing how the foot and ankle is taking load, which is true, because the wear pattern in shoes, you can develop troughs, and you can bevel the shoe off, and then your heel to toe pitch changes within that shoe really quickly, actually. So the heel drop, you cushion you smash out the heel first. Most people do, which means you get a lower reduced heel to toe offset as the shoe wears. So then you go back to a brand new shoe, and all of a sudden your foot and ankle's in a different position. You're going through a different range of motion. So probably argue that.
Geez, good,
He's
Brady.
good. I was just smiling at you the whole time.
I was just like switching off. I was like, I don't know what he gets. Is it up and about shoes or winning ultras?
Shoes.
On par.
I like shoes. I love shoes,
We can
boys.
tell. We can tell. So
Give me more
summarize, as long as it's not a too dramatic change.
Yeah, well, everyone's got a
change, but stay in your own category again. Mm. Yeah.
If you never had a calf issue, then don't be too scared about going lower pitch. Don't be too concerned. But if you've got a history of calf injury, then just be careful. Same with other stuff like medial tibials. I wonder if
the person writing this question though, Moose, is they're just buying their shoes offline. Get to
maybe.
Specialty retail store. Make sure you're in the right shoe to start off with.
Yes, hopefully they're not buying it from me.
Thank you to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IR-SPRING 2025 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up? Big weekend of racing. New South Wales 3K Champs is on. That'd be Saturday night, Croaks.
Correct.
New York Marathon, that'd be Sunday night our time. And Noosa Bolt will be Saturday afternoon. That's a bad clash. New South Wales 3K and Noosa Bolt. Shouldn't happen. New South Wales 3K. Bad scheduling.
Nah, that's
Yeah.
mate. You're not. Nah,
Noosa Bolt doesn't move. Yeah.
You're not gonna. You cannot accommodate things so rogue like a Noosa Bolt and a New South Wales 3. Come on.
Same athletes. New South Wales 3K used to be maybe you were a bit late to the party and you were doing ultra marathons back in the day, but Croaks will testify here. New South Wales 3K used to be the 3K race of the year. Am I right, Croaks?
Yeah, it's a good meet. Not just from the top end's probably not as deep as it has been in the past,
but it's on Noosa Bolt now.
But it's definitely a great community event because they have so many seeded races. So it's it's a good event. And so Noosa Bolt, I think Zach Faccioni will be up there. I reckon you'll see guys like Jude Thomas will be up there.
It's cash season, isn't it? Like people looking to come off there.
It's not a huge amount though. Like it's like I guess like it's $2,500, which still a long way to go to Noosa. Unless you're getting funded to go up there.
When's Sweat vs Steam? What are you clashing with there?
November 16th, nothing. Do you know what they had as the
Vic
original
5K
date for that
champs?
race?
Vic 5K champs is on or about.
How many 30-minute runners you got, Brady?
Hey, Chris, I was wondering how many sub 30 guys we've got. Nah, I reckon it's still Moose's race to win if he enters. Gross. I reckon he can get him.
No, I reckon Toby was
thinking about it.
Man.
Toby was thinking about it.
How about 8:33 for Toby? Should we just the bloke
hadn't ran quicker than 3:30 pace on a treadmill? A couple of 3:30k reps.
Well, this is where that other question there was about like the component of genetics when it comes to like race performances.
Nah, it's not genetics, Chris.
But for him, like,
he's in love at the moment.
But he's like an 8. But he's an 8-minute runner. He's an 8-minute runner. So he's running like 35 seconds slower than his best. But he has maintained a shitload of aerobic conditioning. Like he's probably aerobically fitter now than he was when he's running because he's doing more hours.
Yeah. And he's in love.
And he's in love.
So you cannot underestimate the
Do you know he's talking about moving to Werribee.
Werribee.
Yeah.
For love.
Yeah. I said, no, don't do that, mate. That you'll disappear from the scene if you move to Werribee. You gotta keep.
Thanks to all our listeners in Werribee.
I reckon he needs to go all in on the cycling.
Yeah,
well, he pretty much surely he has, right?
Because I reckon he could actually do something in cycling and maybe make some money from it.
We could swap him for Jimmy Whelan. Sub one in, Toby goes out.
Goes and lives in Spain. Probably wouldn't mind that. Although it's better than Werribee.
Nice, wouldn't it? Thanks for listening, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed the show. Patreon supporters, keep your eye out for 2 episodes, Road to Sydney this week and Road to Valencia. What's coming up, Croaks, between now and next week for you?
I'm doing an interview on Wednesday as well.
Oh, who are you interviewing?
Jimmy Whelan, actually.
Oh, Jimmy Whelan. We'll put that straight on Patreon as well.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that Wednesday morning.
When's it actually going out?
Well, recording at like 11 o'clock on Wednesday.
Do you give it to me? I'll check with Zaka if it goes out on the weekend or goes on the end of next week's show.
Yeah, all right. I think I'm going to go to a rodeo on Sunday.
A rodeo?
Oh, yeah. Fashion show?
Rodeo? No fashions. No, I'm just going to go and watch people ride Broncos and bulls.
I don't know if you're going to be safe at a rodeo.
Yeah. And then getting treatment on Friday. So that's the running related part of the week.
Don't take your hand moisturizer to a rodeo. I reckon keep that at home.
Get the Fox hoodies out. They'll actually go all right there.
Oh, yeah, actually. Bit of Monster Energy. Yeah, they'll be scared of you.
Yeah. Fox stubby holder.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be good for you. What are you doing, Moose?
This week?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
A couple of interviews. Going to do some work.
He acts like I don't ask this question at the end of every episode.
Well, I didn't know you'd be interested in what I've got going on.
The listeners are. I'm probably not that interested, but I'll give it to the listeners.
No, I got not much this week. I got you said I've got an interview. It's not on my calendar though.
Yeah, Zach hasn't confirmed it.
Hasn't been confirmed. But
yeah. All right.
It's with someone who wouldn't want to do it with Croaks, remember? When we were talking about who does the interview, because they're a clash of personalities.
You mean like most of the female distance running world in Australia?
He can burn some bridges, this bloke.
Yeah.
I have not burnt any bridges.
You know who it
I
is
do
now.
know who it is now. Jess Hull. It's with Jess Hull.
I'll do an interview, but
They
only
got
if it's
some
not
beef,
with Croaks.
those two. You don't do this to us, Croaks. She might just she might lump me and Brady in with you.
How has there been any beef?
That's why he's been a member of 6 athletics clubs, Moose.
Yeah.
Goes, joins,
Might be
burns
7
bridges,
actually.
leaves.
7 athletics clubs.
Still got a Bendigo singlet in the cupboard.
Yeah,
my
Andy Buchanan wants that back, I reckon.
1, 3, or maybe 5.
5 athletics clubs. All right, we're ending the show. See you later, boys.
See ya.
Yeah.
Ballarat's world-class road running festival returns bigger and better across the weekend of the 25th and the 26th of April next year. Choose from the full marathon, half marathon, 10K, 5K or mile races. Registrations are coming in from all over Australia, so don't delay. Sign up today at ballaratmarathon.com.au.